What should I ask him? Well, let's find out in this episode of Major Minor. Welcome back, everyone, to this game. My name is Decalink, the trained out professional, and I really, really hope they don't make me type it because I don't want to fucking type it. Thank God they did not. You won't always have the ability to ask every question. What is the Ark? Who are you exactly? More about this power. What are the Midnight Deaths? Well, if he said that the death of place does not matter, then the Midnight Deaths probably would be wasting the question. The goal is to get multiple answers out of this one question. What is the Ark? Seems just like a nebulous. Who are you exactly? It's pretty fucking important. What more about this power? Well, if you ask who he is, then you are asking what the power is. Midnight Deaths is pretty fucking so I'm gonna ask, because asking who he is could either result in I'm not important and then no answers, or all of them. So I'm saying I'm gonna go with that one. I have to know who this man is. It makes the most sense to ask this question. He must know who I am since he gave me this power, yet here I stand knowing nothing about him. You want to know who I am? That is a vague question. How do you define an identity? God damn it! Is it a name, a past, one's actions? Is it a personality or an appearance? Well, if almost any of these are true, then you have a good idea of who I am. You must be inquiring after a name, or perhaps a past, of which you will only learn one. Where do I start? There are many who call the Ark my home, but there are few who know the real truth. The Ark is my prison. I have been trapped here for... I've lost count after 1,000 years. But I have been here way longer than that. Though, if I can be honest with you, it feels like only seconds have passed. Time can lose its importance, you know. Especially when you're not victim to it. Back at home, I would cherish every second, but here, time remains frozen. I don't even know what year it is. I can't tell you when it's day, nor can I tell when night has come. Yes, this is a method of torture, temporal deprivation, they called it. I'm able to leave for very short periods, but even this is another method of torture. A small taste of time brutally torn away. I try not to use that power, it only serves to mock what I'm missing. I must be boring you with all this tale of woe. Allow me to explain more relevant things. You might wonder why this is my prison. Well, I inherited substantial power, far more than anyone would call normal. In fact, I'm a threat to the universe. However, you did not ask about this power. I feel I've shared enough about myself. You have the power! I'm asking who you are! God damn it. I'm afraid that's all the time. Fuck you! I'm not satisfied with my answer. I want a refund. In spite of the recent news, I feel relaxed. It was nice to get the honest truth. Before now, he was vague and dodgy. Now that I've answered your question, we have time to discuss the real issue here. The reason I brought you to the Ark is quite simple, really. Another world wants to take you, by means of an ominous ritual. They've been trying to summon you for days. I think they can sense the power I've gave you. I've been able to intercept them, however. That's why you've been brought to the Ark. I shift your trajectory and take you there. This is so I can try to learn their intent. We wouldn't want your power to be abused. I've even sent them a few random Earthlings. It takes a lot of power to bring you here. I need to foil them with other methods. I didn't want them to take you, at least not until I knew why. Well, that explains the Midnight Deaths. Does this make sense to you at all? Barely. If you and the power were to be abused, it could throw the universe into disarray. I don't want that to happen again. Last time it happened should be the last. That makes more sense. He takes a look at his surroundings. I see a hint of regret and remorse in his face. But the more I interrupt their ritual, the more I realize I'll never know. I can't figure out why they want you. So this time, I'll let them succeed. I wanted to keep you on Earth, for observation purposes, of course, but now that will not be possible. Many worlds are going to want you. There's a bug in my fucking face. Your power can save them or destroy them. You'll be caught up in many affairs. We must hope that they seek your power for good. Many would use it to nefarious ends. Perhaps after helping this world, we can do good for other worlds as well. Wait, He's sending me to another world? Just like that? That's not right! Am I even able to survive on another planet? His explanation only puts more questions in my head. Do not worry, I'll still watch over you. If anything traumatic happens, just relax. I'll bring you back in the face of danger. Remember that you're cared for. I will not let any harm befall you. I consider you a ray of hope, my agent of fate. Without another word, he snaps his fingers loudly. I feel a rush of inertia. Oh, Lord! Doctor Who! Oh, God. This isn't right! Nothing about this is right! I'm finally pushed over the edge and I start to panic. Clace was dead and I was cursed with a power I didn't ask for. A power that could either save or destroy worlds? This was... Before I could continue, my entire body feels pain, like the first time I was here, but on a much larger scale. I try to focus on my breathing, but even that causes me more pain than I can handle. It feels like a paper cut, but on every fiber of my being. Oh, God! I'm starting to get torn apart at a level less than molecular. But then, shortly after, I feel nothing. What the fuck? What the fuck, what the fuck? And I find myself in a forest. I'm quickly thrown against a nearby tree, like I'm traveling incredibly fast. I land on the ground and grip my head in pain. The pain radiates harshly with my heartbeat, which is to say, at the least, it was incredibly fast. I lost track of time, but eventually it subsided. As I'm lucid again, I quickly examine my surroundings. It feels like everything is moving faster than normal. The swaying leaves look as if they're in a hurricane, but my perception of time quickly returns to normal. That was odd. It's like when you look at a clock, sometimes the second hand moves faster for a moment. It takes a few steps around, but can't find any balance. I quickly stumble over and brace myself again on a tree. What's going on? I feel like I'm drugged. I fall to my knees, embracing the tree. Oh, tree, you're the only one that ever cared. Otherwise, I'd be eating a face full of grass. I start to wonder just where I've ended up. But I can only think of where I'm not. Something tells me I'm a long way from home. The anxiety of that fact completely overpowers me. Any semblance of curiosity I had was utterly destroyed. I sulk in some sort of otherworldly homesickness. Here I am, stuck on the soil of a foreign planet. He said I'd be brought back in an event of trauma. Was this experience not traumatic enough? And what if something traumatic doesn't happen? Will I ever see Earth again? Will I ever experience the aftermath of Clace's death? Those weren't the types of things I wanted to see, but it was definitely my right to see them. I feel like this arc has robbed me blind of my future. But what if I don't want this power? I guess I don't even have a say in the matter. I'm simply forced to help against all my wishes. What else would I be forced to do? Will I ever be truly myself again? Oh, goddamn, dude. You'll get back from where you came from. Oh, Jesus Christ! Not this guy! Huh? I know what it's like to be far from home, and this may be farthest you will ever be, but you'll get back, I know it. He kneels down beside me and wraps an arm around me. He rests a hand under my arm and lifts me up slowly. It is very easy to lose your way, especially when others want to use you. They put their own path before your own. He holds me up and I limp alongside him. Is this really the time for your political dogma, fucking enyaminyanyan? Who is he? Is this the guy that was conducting the ritual? If so, I don't see any nefarious intent. He seems very wise. He put me at ease, just like the man on the ark. I feel my desperation brought you here. Perhaps some of that despair assaulted you. If this is so, then I apologize. Your burdens should be yours alone to carry. The journey to bring you to Terra, it was not an easy one to complete. It was filled with failure and compromise. Terra? Is that where I am? Conrad, it worked. Is that so? How can you tell? It's not like we had an artist depiction. I know this is the one. And how do you know that? I can feel it. Just trust me. All right, I'll play along. King Velasquez will be very pleased. I feel like I'm finally able to stand on my own. I'm getting achievements left and fucking right in this game. I gently push aside this endymion in a polite manner. I explain my situation. I don't know why I'm here, I don't know who they are, or who this king is. Very well, you deserve an explanation. At least the best that I'm able to provide. This is Terra. It's a peaceful world. In fact, we haven't... Whoa! We have spontaneous musical numbers out of nowhere! In fact, we haven't had a war for centuries. This is thanks to the immortal king. He's ensured that Terra is a utopia. But unfortunately, that attracts people. There's so many that want to come here that we're a victim of our own kindness, of our kindness and charity. Back it up a second. Immortal king? Yeah, he got lucky. Managed to find a world that suits him. It's a complicated thing, the flow of time. Immortality isn't something I'd want, but I guess it works for him. He's able to get lots of stuff done. Every world experiences time differently. Many worlds are in sync, or very close. But if you find that one special world, the one where time's flow differs vastly, well, let's put it this way, you'll be lucky enough to live forever. Or you'd shrivel and die of old age. Our King Velasquez, he found Terra, a world where time flows very slowly to him. This is why he's been able to live so long. Well, I think Andy is trying to say, it's a good thing you're not dead right now. Your world must flow similarly to Terra. But I guess it's a trade-off. Some people might enjoy a shorter life, especially on Terra where it's safe. It's true, a day of happiness could be desirable. Over a life of war on another world, I mean. World travel is very risky in that regard. Fortunately for you, you're safe. Along with those that came instead of you. Instead of me? We tried to bring you here many times. We also failed to bring you here many times, meaning we brought over the wrong person. We had to continue trying, though. Velasquez was eager to get you here. Made sure we did the ritual every day. But not just every day, we had to do it at the same time as well. Yep, see, it's the fucking midnight, that sounds familiar. Don't worry, the others are safe. We gave them to one of the local lords. He helped them immigrate to Terra properly. What the fuck? Well, let's not jump to conclusions. The Lord is known as Lord Player. He has an open hatred for immigrants, so we really can't speak to their safety. He could have killed them for all we know. Whoa, dude! Conrad, don't be so daft. Either way, Lord Player has the others. He's running for mayor and winning. And mayor is one step below king. So Velasquez now sees him as a valid threat. I guess that's where we come in. We are part of why Terra is so peaceful. We're a private unit funded by Velasquez. We do the things he can't publicly do. Well, I guess you call it dirty work. No, no one is supposed to know that. You shouldn't speak so openly, Conrad. It seems that he's annoyed. Yeah, whatever. We're the Assassin's Guild. We have two members, student and teacher. I'm the student, of course. Velasquez wants us to ruin Player. We're supposed to destroy his campaign. Terra isn't ready for a new ruler just yet. They'd throw the world into disarray. But Player is getting close to the throne, especially among those who hate immigrants. Action needs to be taken so he doesn't win. Wait, back up a second. Elections? Immigration? Smear campaigns? Am I sure I'm not on Earth right now? And suddenly I don't think I can trust these two. At least not fully. They seem like bad guys. Either way, I've heard enough about politics for now. I had this huge list of questions they needed answering. For example, why was I brought here? Oh, you still have questions? And we still have a long way to go. It seems like these benefit one another. Follow us and we'll explain on the way. If the walking is too much, let me know. We can always stop to rest if you need it. Oh, Jesus. Chapter 2, The Long Road Ahead. We have officially ventured into Chapter 2. That's cool. A weird transition there. Not really a big fan of that. They started to lead me down what appears to be a trail. They seem to know enough about Terra, but not while I'm here. Why did they teach me about politics? I can't believe that I was brought here for that. They must be only thinking of from their angle. It makes sense, they did go through a lot to get me. But now it's my turn for answers. Just keep up the pace. Walking and talking will have to do. We're on a strict schedule, you know. King Velasquez wants you by nightfall. That is, on the day of the ritual succeeds. I get this feeling that they don't care. I don't think they want to know the what. I think they want to know the why. Isn't that right? I nod furiously. Well, King Velasquez calls you the Savior. Apparently, Terra needs saving, though I couldn't tell you from what. He was secretive on the matter as well. I just know that he wants you, along with the fact that you're important. He foresees threats like this all the time, so I trust him completely. You're important. Velasquez says history repeats itself. One day he'll agree, another he won't. He flip-flops on a semi-daily basis. But I guess when you're as old as him, you can start to see a pattern in things. But there's no pattern with you. He's never sought help from another world. I guess you're an unknown variant. But I guess sometimes that's what we need. Correct. You're a mystery to me too. He didn't tell us what the power you hold, nor what you'd be saving us from. So, if that's what you wanted to know, regretfully, I must plead ignorance. I'm a savior? That's outrageous. I couldn't even do anything to save Clace. Hey, savior, did you catch the hint? Endymion wants to know what makes you tick. He wants to know why you're so special. I mean, we did dedicate our lives to you. We deserve to know the reason why. Conrad, don't be so demanding. Don't read into my words like that. I guess we're both on the same page. We're both on quests and don't know the reason why. We both know I'm the savior, but nothing else. I guess I'd have to get some answers from this king. I'm not sure why they know about the Ark, though. And I'm not sure they know about the Ark, though. Is Conrad hinting that I should tell them my power? It might not be a bad idea to gain their... I urge you not to tell us. Oh, okay. If we needed to know, we'd know. Velasquez wouldn't hide it from us. It's something we can wait to learn. We're here for a noble cause. That is something I can guarantee. And that is all I need to know. Do you have anything else to ask? If there's something I can answer, I will. I stop and ponder. What else did I need to know? It seems like they know just as much as I do, though I'm glad they didn't push me for information. I'm not sure that man would want me revealing my power. I know where I am. I know who these men are. I know where we're headed. I guess that should be enough for now. What about the fucking tons of people that got killed? Are they ever gonna get sent back? Because, you know, that would really fuck things up. The majority of my questions were about Earth. For example, what happened to Clace? And the rest, I would have to personally ask the king. I submit and shake my head. I guess I'll just have to wait. Patience will deliver all the answers It shouldn't be that much farther now. We're making good time. Oh, Endymion. The form. We should probably fill it out now. Right. Form. It's just a standard immigration form. Everyone new to Terra must fill it out. It helps you keep track of numbers, but it also gauges your personality. It can help you find a suitable job. Oh God, is this Blackgate all over again? Not that you'll be needing a job. We know you won't be here permanently. But we can't give you any special treatment. To everyone else, you must be an immigrant. You've come here to start your life anew. We can't advertise who you really are. And if Lord Player wants to see you with us, well, he'd expect the papers immediately. This is starting to feel more and more like Earth. Perhaps I'm not as homesick now as I was earlier. Endymion. I'm gonna go with Endymion. Endymion? I don't fucking know how to say his name! Reaches into a pocket, pull out a paper, and then I assume it's a Terran writing utensil. After a few moments, he starts to write stuff down. William. Harrison. Off to a good start. We know your name. For the rest, just answer honestly. Or not. I guess that's your choice. Conrad looks at me and smirks. I know it seems silly, but laws are laws. And it also beats awkward silence, especially since we're a long way from town. Would you like to save a game? Yes, I fucking would! Well, this is the first one, is self-explanatory. Okay. Are you a boy, or are you a girl? Please just humor me and play along for now. Well, I guess with a name like William Harrison, I'm gonna go with male, although I like playing as females from time to time, but male. And a good-looking one at that. Oh, starting with the obvious, I guess. Okay, thank you. A large corporation wants to hire you. Do you prefer a leading role or not? And Endymion, or Conrad, you could say. Oh, okay. Do I prefer follower or leader? Well, William Harrison was a president, so it'd be leader, but this is me. Personally, I like to have a good person in charge, but I'm not good with authority, so I'd probably just prefer to be the leader, and that way I know that if things go well, I'm accountable. If things don't go well, I'm accountable, so I guess it'd be leader. I did take you for a leader, after all. A savior shouldn't be anything but. But leadership is so restricting. You don't have true freedom as a leader. Anyway, moving on. Let's see here. Do you consider yourself skeptical, or are you an easily trusting person? I think I know the answer for that one. I'm definitely a skeptic. That is for fucking true. Wait, I was wrong? Oh, damn. Conrad, I feel like I'm... Oh, Jesus. I don't know what I'm doing. It wouldn't be the first time, Conrad. Hey, that's not nice. I thought I had a pretty good read on him. Right. You're about to go to war. Would you prefer to attack or to defend? Alright, now we're digging a little deeper. Remember, there are no wrong answers. They're simply defining you on paper. And to that end, which position do you prefer? See, this is a tricky thing, because when I'm in a problem, I don't like to just sit and wait and do all that stuff. I prefer to get it done and over with. So I guess attacking? In other words, you'd rather be hostile. That is not what I said. I like you more and more. Starting to think you might make a fine protege. Now allowing us to move on. Would you take one life to save many? That's kind of what we do every day. Do you think you'd be able to do it? Take a life for the greater good? Ugh, that's tough. Well, here's the thing. Killing for the... Okay, this is what I will use as the bar for not having this long discussion about it. In my opinion, because there was a controversy when Osama bin Laden was killed, right? Michael Buckley, the guy behind What the Buck, he made a video seeing the announcement where he was super happy. And he got lambasted for that. He was like, "You're celebrating the death of someone." And he was like, in a response video, he's like, "I'm celebrating the death of a killer. Someone who attacked us and killed thousands of our own." So I guess in that sense, if it's really for the greater good, one death of someone like an Osama bin Laden would be better than risking the thousands of more lives. In that sense of greater good, would be... It's so weird to say it, especially since the last time I talked about death and all this other stuff on a video, I was doing a Let's Play of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and I did this whole video about the death penalty, and it flopped. So, I'm just gonna say, with that framing in mind, for the greater good, I'm gonna go with yes. That's what I thought. Can't be a savior without getting dirty. Maybe we need a third assassin, Andy. I wouldn't even humor the thought. They're destined for much greater things. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Alright, we're almost done, I promise. You're running late to your destination. The paths before you are as follows. There's a short but dangerous route, and there's a long but much safer route. If you take the long route, you may be late. But if you take the short route, it may lead to your death. Take the long route! Are you shitting me? Long and safe! Fuck yeah! You mean kinda like what we're doing right now? It's incredibly boring, though. I'd love for something eventful to happen. But to put the savior at risk? Why would that even be a good decision to make? I didn't say it'd be a good decision. I'm saying it'd be a fun one. Conrad winks at me. I shrug it off. Oh, Lord. Just one more question, I promise. Besides, we're almost to town. I'll get a long questioning session. About time. Dots. Do you prefer the company of others, or do you prefer to be alone? Oof. That's tough. Because if I'm answering this honestly, I have social anxiety. I get a lot more stuff done when I am alone. I definitely don't like unsolicited company. I don't dislike company as long as it's well prepared and within a certain realm of bearability. But, I enjoy the company of others. But physically, I don't know, I can't handle it very much. Being alone, I also know I can't handle, because when I'm alone, that's when everyone up there starts going nuts. It's really only when I'm distracted that they're even slightly dulled. For some reason, this question rung my bell a little bit. I guess I'd go... A carefully curated company I prefer over an unending solitude. So I go with I like having others around. I let them know that I like the company of others. Glad to hear it. I was starting to think you maybe hated us. I know Endymion can get on people's nerves. That would be pretty lame after all the trouble we went through. Conrad! I apologize for his words. Etiquette is not in his curriculum. However, fortunately, we have concluded. And not a moment too soon, either. The town is just a few moments ahead. I know we can't make many detours, but we need to hand in these papers. We'll make a quick stop, that's it. We should probably check our mail, too. That's true. Kaelin may have written. Endymion looks at me and sighs loudly. I guess you're in luck, Savior. You'll get to see the Wayfarer's Tavern. It's the hottest place to be on Terra. He's joking, of course. We just stay there sometimes. And we own one of the poster boxes. They serve drinks too. Conrad likes that. But really, it's an immigration office. They just need to spice it up a bit. True, nobody likes mail and immigration. Everyone and their mom loves drinking. And if you look ahead, you can see it. And he points ahead, and I see that he's right. A small town was coming into view. A bar that doubles as an immigration office? That sounds weird, but so does everything else of late. At least we can take care of two matters at once, handing in my papers and checking their mail. And maybe, just maybe, I can meet their king. He would definitely have the answers I seek. Ugh, Jesus. Oh, God. I don't know why that question was bothering me so much. Back on Earth, deep into the night of Clace's death. Slow transitions, who the fuck are you? I must admit, it seems rather suspicious. But these midnight deaths, I never believed them to begin with. Or rather, that they were supernatural. The media loves to romanticize things. I'm sure that many people die at midnight daily. But to affect one of my own idols, mere days before the debut of their tour, no, it has to be a coincidence, I'm sure. Who's this? I don't know, Singe. Sir. Singe is fine. We're closer than that, Rocker. Alright. Social media exploded at Clace's death. Good luck playing it off as a hoax. The body bag was even on national TV. I'm not sure how we'll spin this exactly, but fans are starting to fill in the cracks. There's talk of it being a crazed fan. The work of a stalker, they say. It can't be. I've seen stalkers before. They're much more erratic, not calculated. This is the workings of a serial killer. If it was a murder at all, the stalker wants to possess, not destroy. So their end goal was Clace's murder? Absolutely not. That's self-centered. We must presume the killer will still act. A serial killer doesn't just stop. Boom. I had hoped this was an isolated incident. But the MO matches these midnight deaths, right down to the method of the murder. It seems their goals become more grandiose. Even if they aren't done, then who's next? That's what chills me the most. A larger target than a pop idol? What's wrong? I talked to Jade earlier about these deaths. She mentioned that they all looked like suicides. They were all like suicides. At least half of them looked that way. There were another half that was murder. No confusion there, gunshots and all. I was told that Clace died of asphyxiation, but there's no sign of struggle. Do you mean? Absolutely not. There's no evidence left behind. If he took his own life, there would be. You can't kill yourself, then clean up. I'm very certain Clace was murdered. But it's these midnight deaths I doubt. Are we facing a serial killer? Or is the media just making things up? These could be completely isolated deaths. Time of death being the same. Isn't that odd? I guess that's true. But it's not just that. It's the time of death and method of death. A suicide with no evidence isn't suicide. So there's two groups then. The mysterious suicides and the murders. But I'm willing to bet that they're both murders. You seem to have figured out a lot. I think they'd keep Clace under wraps. I had to pull a lot of strings, but I'm glad you figured it out, Rocker. There aren't two groups, there's only one. This is assuming one major thing, of course, that we're dealing with a single culprit. And these aren't isolated in nature. So a murder covered up as a suicide, huh? Not very well either, it would seem. If they wanted it to look like a suicide, why would they take the weapon with them? If Clace was found with a rope around him, none of us would be doubting this at all. But this is the same throughout all cases. I believe the police are jumping the gun. There's nothing that labels these as suicides, especially in light of one major fact. All of the victims were mentally fit. If we're dealing with a killer here, there's no way they're trying to trick us. They want us to know these aren't suicides. It's the police that are in the wrong, or perhaps they're being manipulated. Wow, it's really weird to see this in context considering we know what happened. Thinking about this just gives me a headache. Man, I wish I was in bed right now. I'm sorry for robbing you of sleep. I just didn't want to handle this one alone. It's not a problem. Jade and Daz are outside as well. I'll stay as long as you need. Would you mind letting Jade in? We need to discuss press matters. We all need to make a statement tomorrow. Absolutely. And Daz is here, you said? Please stay with her in the limo, and tell her what I plan to do with her. Who's Daz? I don't know. Roger. Moments pass. Hello again, Singe. I feel like it's been a while. Too long, I'm afraid. And not under the circumstances I'd prefer. Indeed, I always felt bad for Clace. How people were blaming him for the murders, just because the deaths started when we... Sorry, I shouldn't get into superstition. I just never would have guessed. Clace's death would be what absolved him. The people can't blame the victim, I mean. Indeed. And how do you think I feel? I didn't buy into these midnight deaths. I left him vulnerable. Open, even. I'm used to the media making up trends, even in completely unrelated things. I should have been more cautious of this. I should have assigned more guards to him. Perhaps this could have been avoided. I don't think guards would have helped, sir. Besides, have you worked on your alibi? Alibi? You were the last person to see him alive. You two had a heated argument as well. You should drop that line of thought, Jade. Veiled accusations only hurt you in the end. The media will want to know. It's not just me. That is why you asked me here. That's what you asked me here for, right? So we can decide what to tell the press. I suppose you're right. That and all the changes we'll need to make. The tour must go on as planned. The amount of refunds people will want, it makes me scared just thinking about it. That is a separate beast entirely. But first, how about how we address the death? I think you need to be blunt. You shouldn't be anything less than honest. Tell them that you don't know what happened, that we're on the same page as everyone else. Let them know that we're cooperating with the police. It's important that they feel in sync with us. We must not appear to hide facts from them. We'll make things public as the police does. You're right. There isn't much else we can do. But we'll still need to talk about the tour. Indeed, and that's where we have control. I know what you plan to do with Daz. Rocket told me as we crossed paths just now. We shouldn't change the topic just yet, though. Remember the two groups of deaths? The group of murders and the suicides? I figured out something shocking tonight. The culprit for the group of murders? They were found. A week ago, Singe. What? And here's what gets more bizarre. They have a watertight alibi. It excuses them from fully from the suicides. They were a copycat killer, and they have admitted this openly. The true culprit is still at large. I see. But the police are still in the wrong. The suicides are not suicides at all. At least conflicting MOs aren't an issue. We only have to focus on the suicides now. Does this make it easier on us? Unfortunately not. There is too much missing here. No suicide note, no evidence, along with the victims being mentally fit. If it was a suicide, there would be evidence at the crime scene. Instead, we have nothing at all. The true culprit must be an expert. They can tamper with the crime scenes, they can leave no shred of evidence behind. Just who could it be? It's likely a cop, someone who's been trained in these things. It's possible. I have a theory, though, something a little more bizarre than most. I don't have time for quantum mechanics. There is no logical reason for this. The murders started as our tour arrived. The killer must have a police background. Dots. Jade? Yes? Bring me to Clay's security guard. Bring me Clay's security guard. I'll need to speak with him immediately. You mean... Yes. At this point, it's very logical. Our own hired guard could be the killer. Ooh, shit. That's not good. Meanwhile, in the prophecy of the limo... Whenever we get there. Hey, Daz. Who the fuck is this person? She's shocked back into coherence. Sorry, I was a world away there. That's fine. I mean, given what's happened at all. Part of me is worried, and part of me hates that I'm not worried for Clace, though. I'm not even for those around him. I care more about our own careers. Who will play guitar for? Who will I sing and dance alongside? Forgive my foolishness. I should never have said that. Rocker, Dot, there's no need to apologize. I thought the same things. Death is absolute. It can't be changed. What happens to us, however? Well, it's malleable. Worry is normal. Perhaps it's also partly denial, one of the steps we go through in grief. Yeah, we can justify it that way, but at the end of the day, I'm scared. I've never seen Sin show any emotion. Idols come and go in this business. He just adapts without any hesitation. I don't want to be like that. Emotion is what makes us truly alive. I bet they're talking about the tour. They'll probably just address the press and then forget that Clay even existed. I want to feel sad, but I can't. Is there something wrong with me? Am I becoming like Singe and Jade? They're in a fast-paced business, Daz. They need to roll with the punches like this. You and I have time to adapt, but they'll be in the spotlight pronto. Also, they were talking about the tour. I know what's going to happen to us. That's why I'm not worried anymore. Maybe if I tell you, you'll understand. Maybe you can put this worry aside too. Really? Yeah. Singe is engaging in damage control. He needs to minimize any refund requests, so the tour's opening night will change. Instead, it'll be a vigil for Clace, something all his fans would attend. He's definitely playing to their grief, but it's a good way to retain the audience. Dots? That's extremely cold. It's extremely singe, isn't it? The show must go on, he said. I suppose. So, a vigil then. What's going to happen there? Have you heard the story of Japan's birth? Excuse me, is this even relevant right now? If you'll listen, I'd like to think so. Very well. Before the universe, there was nothing. A huddled mass of chaos and total stillness. It lay there forever, not moving an inch. Though one day it flinched, and it started to move like a cloud, and soon after that like a hurricane. It moved and moved, some chaos rose to the top, the light, this created heaven, or that. But some of the chaos was dark in nature, and it wasn't worthy of ascending to heaven. It stayed at the bottom, becoming earth. A kami was born between the light and the dark, a god known as that, or all-father of the originating hub. I'm sorry, but I have to stop you there. I don't buy into this religion stuff. You said anything about religion? I'm really spouting myth. Are those not one and the same? Dots. Please allow me to continue. I don't know why, but sure. A large rainbow connected heaven and earth. It acted as a bridge between worlds. That, it was called, or floating bridge of heaven. Two more gods came into being at this point. Their names were that and that. Earth was still a puddled mass of nothing. Those stood on the bridge. They looked down and at this nothing in awe. Izanagi was gifted a spear from... He thrusted this spear into the dark puddle. Upon pulling it out, it started dripping. As drops stayed on the surface, they formed the islands of Japan. The first landmass on Earth was born. They were tasked with descending the bridge. They went down and finished creating Earth. Izanagi engaged in the purification ritual. He washed away all the impure aspects, and he used them to aid in the creation. Our sun and moon, created by the impurities in his eyes. And the storms were born of those in his nose. All the impurities were used. After that, we were born, with a world to call our own. That's awfully convenient. We're created from impure aspects of God. Sounds like a tragedy if you ask me. How does it relate to the tour, or us? I'd like to fucking know that too. I'm about to get to that. Zinja's altering the entire tour. It'll be a retelling of this story. The set list will symbolize this creation. The souls will be offered to heaven through the Rainbow Bridge, of course. Not just Claces, but all the victims. Elaborate. I didn't think Singe would do that much. Now I feel bad for assuming that it did. It's okay, you didn't know. So, will we perform covers then, of Clace's hits, or other relevant songs? You got it, but then you come in. The tour will end with a special surprise. A special surprise? Yes, an announcement from you, that you'll be taking over the world tour. You'll be headlining, You'll perform us to a sold-out crowd. It'll be your turn in the spotlight. You'll finally become something more. Something more, huh? Yes. We'll be saying goodbye to Clace and welcoming a new idol into the world. I suppose I should be honored. I'll serve as your guitarist. You'll have complete loyalty, Daz. Thanks. But I'm not sure about Shock. Him and Clace are childhood friends. He may take this harder than any of us. Right. Well, if you'll excuse me, this is overwhelming. I need fresh air. Of course. I guess I should join her. It's getting stuffy in here. Is Inumi still in the front seat? The shuffling sounds in the front seat. Yep. Oh, I shouldn't be laughing.
Bro is dead.
Would you like to save a game? Yes! I'd like to save my game and end this fucking episode of this... Why is this game getting deep out of nowhere? Thank you all very much for watching this episode of Major Minor. On the next one, probably more fucking emotions, because that seems to be this game's MO. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I have been the trained unprofessional speaking for the voices in my head when I say until next time!